Welcome, math lovers. This is the analysis of student work presentation that you all have to do. This is for our Math 380, the Mathematics for Secondary Education. This is going to be happening throughout the semester. You'll actually do a couple of things that you'll have to turn in. One the very first week, and then one before you present. And then after you've made any edits at the end. We're going to kind of go over talking about it and what this entails. So first, the assessment description. You're going to be assigned one problem from the analysis of student work sections in the textbook, which is the last section in each one of the chapters, where you're going to analyze 5 student solutions. So there's one problem. You're going to have 5 different solutions. Some of these have many more than 5. You're going to have to pick 5 that you're going to analyze. You're then going to prepare an in-class presentation on these solutions. Well, first, that means you actually have to complete the solution. You have to read the directions and then do the problem in your own writing, and then you're going to compare that, the key that you've made, with the student's work. So this is going to include an analysis of the work, any student misconceptions that you can identify. Sometimes we can't identify the misconceptions, but often we can. And that's your job as a teacher, to identify where they're missing things. Oftentimes students don't know how to put in words what they're missing. And you can hopefully address that by their solutions. You're also going to identify those, and you're going to give some feedback on how you would remedy those misconceptions, and give the student detailed feedback that you would give to the student. So you're going to have quite a bit there in the presentation. We're looking for about 5 to 10. I don't see many students pull this off in 5 minutes. In fact, realistically, consider it 10 to 15 minutes. 10 is usually about where the limit is, where most students end up. The day you present, you're going to submit a hard copy to me of your outline for your presentation. It does not need to be what you say to the students. I do want that feedback given. I do want that, but I don't need to see all the notice, your work specifically. I just need to know that you did work it out correctly, those sort of things. So that's what you'll turn in the day you present. You're going to turn in a hard copy. And then I'll make notes on the hard copy and give you feedback. Your classmates are also going to give you feedback. And I will verbally give feedback also. I tend to do verbal more than I actually do write down specifics. For the instructions that's due, so the analysis of student work presentations instructions, that's due Sunday, first week of class, September 10th. You're going to submit which problem you were assigned, and that's going to be in the slides from day one. I will randomize the data and put you in there so you'll know when you're going to be presenting, and you guys will have that. You will have to choose which 5 student solutions you want to do. I think there's only one where I specifically am going to make sure you have to include that number. Other than that, you get to choose. That means if there's only 5, you're doing all 5, but you're going to submit basically which problem you were assigned and which student's work you're going to be analyzing. And that will be submitted on Halo. This is by Sunday, by the end of week 1. You're going to email me your PowerPoint presentation the Wednesday before you present. This gives me time. Our class is in the afternoon. This gives me time to actually give you, hey, that didn't come through right. I don't have your presentation. The link didn't work, whatever. So we can get that corrected before class that you will be presenting in. just because these will happen at the end of class. So I'm still going to lecture, and then I'm going to give time over to whoever's presenting, and you guys will, I'll have them preloaded. So you'll just go up and start your presentation. The day you present is when you'll bring the hard copy of the outline of the presentation along with the feedback you give your students. And then after you've done your presentation and you've taken the feedback that I've said, maybe something I said to another student's presentation also. Throughout the semester, you may have heard something then and be like, oh, I could have done that better in mine. And you may want to adjust yours, and that's totally fine. I expect you guys to do that. You'll have the feedback from your classmates, and then after you make any edits from the instructor, from me or from your peers, you will submit the final analysis of student work presentation sometime between December 7th and December 11th. Now, this is a big project. It does require that you do solid academic writing. APA is not necessarily required for the body of the assignment, though I do expect solid academic writing. That means you document your sources. Those should be presented in APA format. And you can look at the style guide. Specifically, I'm referring you to GCU Student Success Center, but you could just go to Purdue OWL and pull up the APA stuff and look for it there if you wanted to. There is a scoring guide for this. So which we'll look at in the next slide. Please review the scoring guide prior to beginning the assignment so you're sure what you're putting in. And you are required to submit this assignment to Lobeswright. There's a link for technical support articles. If you have an assistance, this is in the directions. Most of these directions are in topic 7 in our class, in our Halo shell. They're in topic 7, but you're doing some of this throughout the semester, okay? There's some of you that are going to be presenting as early as the end of September. And then in October a couple times, and then in November. I think even in the beginning of December, a few of you will be presenting. So this makes it so you get some experience throughout it. This also means that the people who present first have less feedback and less examples to go on. So they're also going to have the most opportunity to improve their work before they submit their final. The people at the end will hopefully be listening to the feedback that's been given from the first presentation all the way through, and will have made theirs so they have less improvements to make afterwards. They'll have less time to do their improvements because of this. So please be aware of this. There's benefits to going first. There's benefits to going last. It's going to be randomized. So I'm just going to use random in Excel and create it for you guys. And I'll probably do that day 1. So you'll have that. When I make my slides for day 1, I will have done that. The scoring guide for this looks something like this. You're going to analyze the problem, and your analysis needs to be accurate. You need to have the right solution to the problem. Most of these students that you're looking at, these are students' works, are done from maybe middle school type era, maybe freshman high school. They're not hugely advanced or anything, but some of the thought processes are. So you're going to need to make sure that your work is accurate. You're going to analyze each student's solutions in relation to the actual solution to the problem, include any misconceptions, and make sure that they're present and correct. You may also want to talk about what you would score them. This is something to consider. And that would, of course, change depending upon whether this was like a homework assignment or an exam assignment, or maybe a quiz assignment. Each thing will have its own grading scale. You get to decide that. I'm not telling you it's a test or homework or anything else. I'm letting you make that decision so you can have some feedback and consider how you would grade this. And I also want that you've given detailed feedback for each one of them, for each student that you do a solution, that you evaluate. So this is how the points are broken down. The big thing is that you're going to be presenting this. This is basically, you're going to be doing this for a living, right? Your job is going to be presenting assignments to students. So, and grading their work. So this is an opportunity for you to get that experience. Again, this is kind of an overarching thing throughout the semester. Again, we'll have, you'll do something for it week 1, so right away, and that'll just be a quick Word document that you're going to write down which assignment you were assigned. Make sure you include your name and stuff in the title of this one single page document you're going to submit, and that's this, where is it? This one here for the analysis of student work presentation. This is that top one. You're going to submit that by the end of the week, Sunday, September 10th. And you're going, the first Sunday of the week, you're going to tell me which problem you were assigned and which students. So you'll have to look at it and decide which students you're going to do. The next thing is you're going to have to email me prior to the day of your presentation. So that Wednesday, I need your presentation emailed to me. And then you will present on that Thursday. The day you present, you're going to bring in a hard copy. That means you are going to have to be responsible. You're going to have to go get it printed. You're going to bring it in, give me that, and then you'll go, after I've lectured for a bit, we'll have time accrued for this, so you'll be able to go and present. And then you'll probably have another presenter after you. Most of these have at least 2. I think there's a couple days that there's 3 people presenting. And then after all is said and done, you'll make it changes, make it adjustments, and you will submit your final copy. I think it's the week before the last week of class. So that'll all get submitted then. We do have a couple of other things that final week, so that are due. So yes. All right, this is your analysis of student work presentation that you will be doing throughout this class. This class also has some benchmarks and some essays, and then of course a lot of homework. It is a higher level math class, so please be aware of that as we continue through. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Have a good day.